This is about the Reformist Quran and edip Yüksel. Yeah, I rejected Sunnism about the age of 20. Lost a lot of family members, lost a lot of everybody close to me. I'm an apostate. People I still love to this day want to see me dead. But they still care about me. They're just twisted. The Quran says you can only take 4 wives, and Muhammad is just a man. Yet, Bukhari says he had between 9 and 13. So he took a 9-year-old bride and goes into pornographic detail what he did with her from the age of 6 to 9 until they actually had vaginal intercourse. And multiple things like this. So I agree with you that the Sirah, which the first one we have is not by Ibn Ishaq, but by Ibn Hisham, Sirah Rasulullah, and Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, Sunan Abu Dawud, useless poison that was cooked up by the enemies of the Quran 300 years later. In the case of the Sirah, 200 years later. What I find to be... Well, let me just point this out. You had an article on your website, Pope, naked Pope in a glass house or something like that. And it's where Benedict had recited the words of Emperor Manuel II, that show me anything Muhammad brought that is not vile or evil, such as spreading the faith by the sword. Anything new that he brought. You go on to say the Pope and his Emperor were guilty of, at the time of slaughtering Muslims and all this kind of stuff. The Pope and the Emperor were in excommunication with each other. They were not of the same religion. The Pope had condemned all the Eastern Christians to hell. After a while of healing, I came into the Antiochian Orthodox Church. We're being heavily persecuted right now in Syria and Iraq. When the emperor said that, Constantinople was that was the entirety of the Byzantine Empire. The rest of the Byzantine Empire was taken through bloodshed. So how could Manuel II know anything of Muhammad except but by the people who were fighting him, who were expounding the Sunnah? I mean, it's ridiculous. How many... Islam spread by the sword, slaughtering, cutting down Christians. At least under the Umayyads. The Umayyads, the Basayids, the Fatimids, slaughtering, they pretty much wiped out the Zoroastrians. Forced them into India to become a minority. And now we're suffering persecution. The Quran, and I want to talk to Quran onlyists, never actually attacks the Trinity. In fact, it endorses the Trinity. I believe it's Surah Al-Ma'idah, Ayah 177, or 171. Talks about Allah, the Logos, or the Word, sent by the Spirit. One God, just like you say, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Is that three gods or is that one? And the Quran commands continually to read Torah and Injil, and it actually explicitly says that they will never be corrupted. It just says that the rabbis and the Christian clergy pervert them by their tongues or by their commentary. It never says the scriptures are perverted, and commands the reader of the Quran or the listener to go back and read them. And to judge the Quran by the Gospel. It should be the Diatessaron. It talks about many times in Surah Al-Maryam it talks about the resurrection of Mary, or the resurrection of Christ. The day I was born, the day I die, and the day I will be raised back to life. There's no attack on the Trinity. Allah is not the third of three. Of course not. It's third of three. Thalatha, not Trinity. And even the Quran, it says that there are Christians that are monotheist. We're not polytheist like Jehovah's Witness, who claim that there are two gods. There's only one God, and there's different aspects to him. Why do you think the Quran always says they? And I've been using, I was raised with the Pickthall translation, Muhammad Mardik Pickthall translation. I've read Sahih International, Yusuf Ali with commentary. So when it was the other way around, the slaughtering happened the other way around. It was Muslim upon Christian. Slaughtering, killing. So it is today. What were the Crusades except a response to the massacre of all the Christians in Jerusalem and the killing of pilgrims and the burning down of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre? And I have other questions like, why is the Quran set in Palestine? I don't even believe their lie about Mecca. The Quran is set in Palestine. So that's pretty much it. My name is Yusuf. I've been in here for years. I've been saying this for years. The Hadith is lies cooked up by those who hated the people who conquered them. It was cooked up under the Abbasids, probably started under Al-Mamun. But to call Manuel II, who was one of the last emperors before the Muslims violently took Constantinople by force. And then you bother to call the American secular regime Christian. In Palestine, the Christians and the Jews and the Muslims lived together in peace before the Zionist state was there. That's why the true Christians are opposed to the Zionists, opposed to Zionism. What about the complete ethnic cleansing of the Christian from Iraq? 98% are gone now, or been pushed out since the stupid war began. And now ISIS is going to finish them off. Keep saying Muslim and true believer, but does that only mean you? And why does the Quran never attack the actual Trinity laid out? Clearly understood. Why does it take a form that was Coloridian? God is not Father, Mother, and Son, or however it's phrased. Never believed. So I think it's ridiculous when there's so much slaughter going on, a genocide against the Christians, and there actually has been since the Umayyad state, that you act like this. And upon my head, ever since I rejected the Sunnah, and when I actually accepted, okay, yes, the Trinity is the purest form of monotheism, death threats of beheading. Do you have to live the same life as me or anyone else?